This is VSiN PrimeTime. Live from the Circus Sportsbook in downtown Las Vegas on VSiN, the sports betting network.
High drama in Atlanta. I'm Scott Seidenberg alongside Will Hill as this is VSiN Primetime right here on VSiN, the sports betting network. The Atlanta Hawks have taken a 91-90 lead over the Miami Heat, their first lead of the game. Their first lead of the game comes with 7 minutes left to go in regulation. Your live number right now, Atlanta minus 1.5. Your live total, 213.5. Will Hill, what do you make of what we have seen here in this second half?
We're not at the point where as long as we avoid overtime, we're good. But as far as our under 221.5, and I think you doubled down and took the second half under.
Yep.
We are in pretty good shape here. You don't want this to be a situation where either team pulls away and you get in the foul zone. Somebody's up 5-7, and you know how that goes. You can get 10, 15 points in the final minute. But close game. On pace for our under here, so rooting that home, and it's nice to have some drama. The first handful of playing games have not been great. Atlanta with a nice comeback here. I wonder if the Cavs are watching, what they're thinking. Do they care who they play? Probably not, right?
No, they don't care. If the Cavs are watching, they want this game to go to like 4 overtimes. Like they don't care at all. Like they're just like they're going to dominate their first game anyway. So the Cavs, trust me, they don't care. You mentioned the second half under that we played at 107. There were 48 points scored in the third quarter, and so far only 18 points scored in the fourth quarter. 7 minutes left to go in regulation. 91-90. The Hawks lead the Heat. As far as the props are concerned, we have already cashed Tyler Hero with over 2.5 3-pointers. He is 3 of 8 from three-point range. I'm starting to get very nervous about my Trae Young under 26.5 as he just drilled a three-pointer. That was the shot that gave the Hawks the lead, and Trae Young now has 20 points on the game. 5 of 16 shooting. 3 of 7 from three-point range, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, and in a close game, he's their best player. He's not done shooting, so this will be a significant sweat over the final 7 minutes to see if I can avoid Trae Young going with the 26.5 points. I have the under, Will.
Are you the type of person that will look for a middle in a bet like this that you're worried about? I don't have the live total in front of me. I imagine you're still ahead of pace.
I don't think so. Let me see. Did they even have live player?
Most books do.
Here's flash props. No, live player threes, live
sure
specials.
Yeah, maybe it's so late that they don't. Hang on.
Yeah, 7 minutes left in regulation. I don't know if they would have.
I'm not seeing it.
If they would have any live player numbers here. Look,
it's weird they have live player threes though, but not points.
I know. You know what though? Like, what if he's not going to go to the bench? You think, right?
Probably not.
Trae Young, it's off the board right now. I'll see if it gets released back. But right now, I just checked. Caesars does have live props, and I haven't seen it. It was all locked, so nothing on the player points. But I'll check back. I mean, listen, if I can get him to go to the bench for 2 minutes, that would be great. You know, take a little breather, Trae. But something tells me that's just not going to happen. But he's got 20 points. Like I said, he just drilled the three, which gave the Hawks a 91-88 lead. Miami responded with a basket. So 91-90 is the score right now with 7 minutes to go in regulation. Your live line, the Hawks minus 1.5, and the live total of 213.5. So feeling really good about the total right now. Also feeling pretty good.
Who do you think wins?
Wow. If I had to make a bet right now, it's hard to go.
Let me guess. I think you're going to say Atlanta.
Yeah, if I had to make a bet, I don't want to bet it. I don't have a play on either side. But if you told me I had to make one bet right now, it would be the team that has taken all the momentum in the second half in front of their home crowd. Like, how do you not go against them? And I know the market right now says it's minus 1.5. Money line's minus 130. You get even money on the minus 1.5. Like minus 1.5 at even money, that would be a bet for me. But I have no interest. I'm not playing either side here. I just hope that the total stays under. That's all we care about. And let's see the defense tighten up here. I want to see long possessions, take it down to the end of the shot clock here, and especially let's say Miami misses a basket here, whatever, and Atlanta plays the lead, milk the shot clock. Take it down to like 6 seconds and then get a shot off. That's what I would love to see. Shorten this game right now as we are at 93-90. The Hawks leading the Heat. 6.5 minutes to go in the game. A quick update on what's going on in Major League Baseball. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Dodgers with a 1-0 lead over the Rangers as Jacob deGrom, that one home run allowed to Tommy Edman to lead off the game, Will, one of only 2 hits he's allowed in this game so far through 4 innings. DeGrom has gone 4 innings, 2 hits, the 1 run on the home run to lead off the game, and 5 strikeouts. So this is a great performance for Jacob deGrom through 4 innings. Meanwhile, Yamamoto, there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, and they do have a runner on second base, the Texas Rangers do. Yamamoto, 3 2/3 innings, no walks, 4 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts. So cash the over strikeout prop for Yamamoto here. DeGrom, I believe his was a little bit higher, hasn't cashed it just yet, but only 53 pitches for DeGrom through 4 innings. Yamamoto is at about 60 pitches right now. Great starting pitching, great game, and we are very close to cashing this first 5 under. Anything else that you're noticing right now in Major League Baseball? Yankees with a 1-0 lead, top of the 8th over the Rays. How about the performance from, we expected this from Drew Rasmussen, who went 5 2/3, 7 strikeouts, only 1 run allowed. But Carlos Rodon, 6 shutout innings, 2 hits allowed, 9 strikeouts. What a performance from Rodon.
Yeah, and we started the game after a couple of shaky starts. He was good on opening day, 2 shaky starts in a row. 2 on, nobody out in the first inning, thinking, here we go again, Rodon, too many walks, too many homers, pitching himself into trouble. Gets out of that inning and then smooth sailing the rest of the way. So an encouraging performance. Yankees looking to tack on some runs. Now, I don't want to jinx him here, but the bullpen has been really good this year. We'll see who's available tonight, because I'm trying to think. Williams closed that out last night. Did he not?
Last night it was, let's see, the last night the Yankees used Williams for 6 pitches, though.
Yeah.
6 pitches.
But he went Monday and Tuesday, so this would be 4 and 5 days. I wonder if Williams is available tonight.
6 pitches? You're not available the day after you throw. That's not.
Yeah,
even,
but you're
that's
still,
not even a
the warm-up
bullpen
pitches
session
and everything. 4 and 5 days. That he might be. He might be.
That's
just
not
because the fact that it was 6 pitches.
That's not even a bullpen session, dude. Come on, 6 pitches. Let the guy go out.
Yeah, but
there.
you got to warm up though. You got it probably takes him 30, 40 pitches to warm up. I don't know.
Sure. But there's a difference between pitch count and high leverage pitches. As the Hawks are running away right now. Atlanta hits a 3, then gets a steal and a transition bucket. Was there a foul on that as well, or just a timeout after the make? No, they just Heat just called a timeout there after the make. There's 5 minutes left. 98-92. The Hawks lead the Heat right now. Your live line, Atlanta -4.5. Your live total 214.5. What a second half this has been for Atlanta. And can I make the same joke that I made or the comment that I made the other day, Will?
Who's going to stop you?
There's only 5 minutes left. There's 5 minutes left, so this could change. But as of right now, for the second game in a row, the Heat have scored more points in the first quarter than they have in the entire second half.
Oh, wow. How about that?
So they scored 33. They scored in 2 days ago, the Heat scored 39 points in the first quarter and then 38 points in the entire second half. In this game, they scored 33 points in the first quarter. They have 30 points in the second half right now with 5 minutes to go.
That's incredible. That that is so unusual.
I would expect them to score 4 more points. Come on. But I just think that that's crazy, like for the second game in a row. And maybe that's something that we should have picked up on after that first game. I certainly did by playing the under for the second half. But maybe we should have been on Atlanta for the second half, knowing that Miami just doesn't score in the second.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy in hindsight, but pretty surprising comeback here for Atlanta. I know they were down, 12, 14? Do you know what the high water mark was off the top of your head? Because I think the biggest lead I saw was either 12 or 14 as I'm flipping back and forth between that game and the baseball.
The largest lead was 17. They were down 17.
Oh, my.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a bad one. You're up 17. You're supposed to win that game.
Yeah. You're up. You're right. You're up 17 points.
Well, they hit a 3, so it's 98-95, so it's not pour dirt on them yet. But
yes.
At least for now, a pretty good comeback here for Atlanta. Do we have a live total here updated? Let's see.
212.5.
All right, we're in good shape.
Yep, that was
in good shape.
That was a huge 3-pointer because they're being outscored 21-9 in the fourth quarter. They were being outscored 21-6 in the fourth quarter, and with all the momentum that Atlanta got by that 5-point swing, which is where they made the 3-pointer, and then they got the steal and then the transition dunk. Like, that was a massive 3-pointer for Miami here. Now, if they can just come up with a stop and get some points in on the other side, I mean, we're going to be talking about the final 2 minutes, this being a one-possession game, and I think we're looking great for the under because then it's just possession by possession.
97. Just got to worry about overtime, though. I'm just saying.
This guy.
You don't think that way? I always think about that. How can I bet lose?
You don't say it. You're not supposed to say it.
You do say it.
You're not supposed to say it. You're not supposed to say it. It's like a guy's throwing a no-hitter, and you come into the dugout. The pitcher's sitting by himself with his arm in the jacket, and you go, "Hey, you know he's pitching a no-no." That's what you just did. You said the worst thing you could possibly say.
We know it's possible. I don't want to count the money yet.
You said the worst thing you could possibly say.
No. Setting it up to blame me. Come on.
All right, let's turn this around. Right now at VSiN.com, we are offering the VSiN Killer Sports NBA Playoff Challenge. We've invited 15 sharp minds from the world of VSiN and Killer Sports to go head-to-head, making 38 picks each from the start of the NBA playoffs through the finals. That's a total of 570 NBA playoff picks, and guess what? They are all available to VSiN Pro subscribers. Picks are locked in 1 hour before the first game each day. As of right now, you can get full VSiN Pro access through August 1st for $59. That's $59. Go to vsin.com/subscribe. This is VSiN Primetime.
This is VSiN Primetime on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The sweat is real. The drama. I'm Scott Seidenberg alongside Will Hill. It's VSiN Primetime right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We have under a minute left. The Miami Heat lead the Atlanta Hawks 105-104 with 40 seconds remaining. Sportsbook is ahead of the TV. 105-104. Live total 214.5. Second half, we have the under 107 looking great. Game, we're under 221. Will's got the number. I got the 219 on a bad number, but I doubled down on the under 107 second half. Trae Young, meanwhile, is at 22 points. I have under 26.5 for Trae Young, and he's at 22. We have already hit the Tyler Hero three-pointer prop. 105-104, 19.7 seconds remaining. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, Will.
Yes, oh boy, indeed. I'm a few seconds behind it. It's something about when these games are on TNT, like you're always behind the action when you're looking at TV as opposed to the Sportsbook app and what's going on live. But I feel like with TNT Turner, I noticed this during the NCAA tournament, we are good like 2 or 3 possessions behind, not just one possession behind. But Miami is going to be going to the foul line here, up 1. So we could get a barrage of free throws. Miami now a pretty sizable favorite on the live line, laying 2.5 and laying minus 360. Although something just happened because they're down to minus 130. So again, it's hard to to feel like it's hard to do this show, check the sportsbook and be the TV and trying to figure out what's going on and try to give advice based on that. But Miami, at least last we saw, as they go to timeout with the ball, and it looks like they're going to be getting free throws.
Okay. Now, do you want me to look at the sports book or do you want me to look at the TV? Because the book is ahead of the TV.
I want you to give me the right answer. So it just went back to minus 620. I don't get why it was at minus 145. It was minus 620 to minus 145, then back to minus 620. Maybe that minus 145, maybe that was just a glitch. Sometimes these sports books, they show a number that's not real. You go to Bennett and say, sorry, your bet can't be added or whatever. Well, sometimes it's just a mistake. And it's an illusion. You can't really bet it. They're
going to the free throw line, and they're up 1. So, you know, at the worst case scenario, they're going to be up 1 if they miss the 2 free throws here. Right now, we have both teams in the bonus. 105, 104, 19.7 seconds remaining. And we are just hoping, I mean, what do we want here? Do we want both free throws made? Or, you know...
I mean, we want both of them to miss, so it's still a 1-point game. And then
that's what I'm thinking.
It avoids overtime. It avoids the foul game. Yeah.
Well, I don't care about the fouls because I think we're still far away from the total here, right? Because we're only at 209, and the second
we're fine.
And the second half total we're fine too because there's only been we've had 46 and 48, so we're at 52. We're at what? Oh my goodness, that's so low. 107 we're not in jeopardy there at all.
No.
So I think that if he makes 2, maybe they go for the 3 and it wasn't free throws yet. I guess they had to foul. Now they're in the bonus. Okay.
You get 1 in the last 2 minutes. So there you go. And they got the ball. They did the smart thing. They got the ball to Hero. So now Hero's going to the line, which is who you want going to the line here.
Yeah.
Miami.
I guess I want him to make 2, and then do I want Atlanta to go for the here's the thing. It's too early to consider fouling up 3, right?
Probably. I was thinking that too. And they still had 1 to give, and now let's see. So they had another 1 to give here.
Yeah. The scoreboard still, it says there's one little dot on the scoreboard under the bonus. Is that out on Hero? No. Yeah, so they have 1 more foul they have to give right now. Great
play.
They
are going to the line now.
Great play chucking it down the court to waste a couple of more seconds. So now they're going to the free throw line. First free throw is up and good. I'm going to spoil it for you. I'm looking at the Sportsbook app, so it's ahead of the TV here. 106, 104, so we're at 210 on the total right now. If he makes this, there's 12 seconds left. Do you foul up 3? No. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute.
A little early.
No, they're not in the
it.
bonus. Miami has take fouls.
Oh, then I definitely foul. I would definitely foul then.
I think Miami's I think so. I'm trying to determine. I mean, I'm looking at different scoreboards here to see what the bonus situation is.
That's the hard thing about doing this with doing the show and checking the baseball and all this stuff is you can't be on top of every little detail, and these little details matter. But I would foul regardless. I'll just play the free throw game here, especially with Hero. I trust him to make the foul shots. I trust my team to not turn it over and just get it in bounds. And I prefer to just not let you tie the game with 1 shot.
He missed the second one, and Atlanta calls a timeout.
Point.
He missed the second one. Atlanta calls a timeout. There's 11 seconds remaining. 11.3 remaining. 106, 104.
I was just going to say Miami was like a minus 11. They went up to minus 1180, only up 1, shooting 2 free throws. Even if he makes both, you're only up 3. I was surprised it was that high. Now, it's easy to say after the fact, but you were talking about something, so I don't want to interrupt. Down to minus 375. Is there any value on Atlanta plus 270 to win it with a 3 or, God forbid, hit a 2 and send this to overtime?
No. I'm not. No.
What number would you need to bet Atlanta right now on the money line?
Plus 500.
Really? Just down 2?
Plus 4, plus 500.
I'm tempted by the plus 270.
The only reason why I don't like it is because they're not waiting for the final shot of the game. Unless you truly think they're going for the win and they're going to pull what Houston did against Florida in the national championship game and really play for the final shot and the 3-pointer to win. But the season's on the line here. I think that they're going to try and get the tying shot or at least maybe a 3 early on to give themselves a chance to rebound or the chance of tying the game. And then Miami's going to have the chance for the final shot, So that's why I can't do it. But, man, by the way, 6.1 seconds left, so I don't know what happened. Trae Young still at 22 points. If I hit this under 26.5, that is going to be unbelievable considering where he was with 20 points with 7 minutes left. So he's at 22 points right now. My scoreboard says 6.1 seconds left, so maybe Miami did foul.
Yeah, I don't want to start guessing and giving bad spoilers to the audience here.
So let's just watch. Let's just watch it play out here. Yes, they called a foul on the floor, and so I think they still have 1 more foul to give. Or that might have been the 1 more foul to give.
Wiggins with a take foul on Trae Young.
Yep, but this was a ticky-tack take foul, man. That's not a foul. That was just Trae Young drawing contact and sticking his arm out there.
I thought he gave him enough shoulder to draw a whistle there. I thought there was some contact. That was going to call a timeout here.
You know what that is, Will? That's the ref knowing the situation and giving the offensive team the benefit of the doubt there, knowing that, hey, there's 6 seconds left in the game. We know the other team's going to do a take foul. We're going to call this foul as quickly as possible to give you more time. We're not going to, not going to do one of these, not call it, and then finally call it. And the next thing you know, there's only 3.9 seconds left, and everyone's complaining that the refs didn't call a foul. If that wasn't this situation, if that exact play happened in the first quarter, that's not a foul. That's just contact on defense.
Enough contact. I had no problem with it.
Well, you're a player's ref. What can I say? I'm a coach's guy, and I always back
I'm an over ref. I'm like Donahue, man. I'm blowing that whistle.
I'm a coach's ref, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to argue with you. If I'm Eric Spoelstra, I'm saying, come on, man. Also, I want him to review this guy on the sidelines. Was he out of bounds or not?
And they had a very hard time getting that ball in bounds, because once they got it in bounds, he was kind of trapped along the baseline here. I don't know if that was a Kongwu or that was almost a turnover. He was in no man's land where he was really pinned against the baseline and had a hard time getting the pass off too young. So 6.1 left, and Atlanta will inbound here. Don't spoil it. Let's watch it together. Don't spoil it. What is going on in that brain of yours? Are you a poker player? I don't know about your poker face right now. I don't know.
What's going on is like you're going to get blamed for something.
I told you.
Is you're absolutely
not my first rodeo, my friend.
You're absolutely getting blamed for something right now. Like, you got to be kidding me. You said the worst thing you could possibly say, which was the only way we lose this under is if it goes to overtime.
I'm just stating facts. The only way we could have lost this game is overtime. 106 all with 1.3 left. Young drives to the basket and ties the game. Miami will have a chance to win and avoid overtime. How you feeling, buddy?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I feel terrible because I'm going to lose the second half under now and might lose the full game under. And Trae Young now has 24 points. I'm going to lose my under 26 and a half. So unless Tyler Hero hits a buzzer beater here, I've just lost all bets on them allowing Trae Young. I would have just fouled him there. Just make him shoot 2 free throws. I'm not giving him that layup.
I don't know.
I'm a 90s basketball guy. You don't get a free layup on me. All right?
Once he got to the basket. Yeah, I know what you mean. Then you're worried about an and one, though.
I would have mauled him. It looked like Adebayo there. Unless Bam is playing with like 5 fouls, like why didn't he just foul the heck out of him? Bam Adebayo has no fouls. Why wouldn't he just like grab him as he was going to the basket? Anyway, let me tell you guys.
Worried about an and one here.
Brighter situation. ProfitX offering the best odds on baseball all season long. ProfitX, a peer-to-peer sports exchange available in 40-plus states, the first of its kind in the U.S. You're going to be able to make your picks against other groups of fans rather than the sports books, and exchanges guarantee you the best odds on average by 10 to 20%. You can even request your own odds. Download ProfitX today. Use promo code VSiN. Earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. This is VSiN PrimeTime here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN Primetime on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This one's going to be a tough pill to swallow, folks. I'm Scott Seidenberg alongside Will Hill. This is VSiN Primetime. I am not going to let Will Hill live down the fact that he said the words overtime with 7 minutes left in regulation and it looking like we were cruising to a victory on our game under. And he said, quote, "The only way we lose is if the game goes to overtime. And we're in overtime, and we're going to lose every bet that we place on this game." So I'm never going to let you live that down, Will. Right now,
and I will hire an attorney to defend myself because what I said is a true statement. Hey, we're in good shape, but if it goes to overtime, we're screwed, which is the only way we're going to lose.
Certain things
you go to overtime somehow. Not the first bad beat of my life, and not the last.
Certain things you just don't say. Let's bring in our next guest. Joining us on the Progressive Guest Line, he covers the Nuggets for the Denver Post. He is Bennett Durando. Bennett joining us here on VSiN Primetime. Bennett, you've been watching this game play out here. How surprised are you that we find ourselves in overtime right now?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was only able to really tune in for the second half after I was finishing up some work from Ball Arena today, but just getting ready for this first round series. But I was pretty surprised that Atlanta got back in it. I was extremely surprised to see Niang drive for a contested floater for sort of the pseudo last shot. And then even more surprised after that to see Tyler Hero miss a free throw and let Atlanta get away with that really bad possession and have another chance to get Trae Young going downhill.
Bennett, let's get to the Denver-LA series, a fascinating series, a ton of talent for a first-rounder. so many people betting the Clippers, picking the Clippers. Has the enthusiasm for the Clippers, has that gotten back to Denver? Do they know, even with home court, that there's somewhat of an underdog here? And what do you make of this first round series?
Yeah, I think that in Denver, there's a little bit of a, okay, I guess we'll see what happens with this thing mindset after the way the regular season ended. Obviously, shocking timing on the decisions to fire Michael Malone and Calvin Booth. I guess it's almost 2 weeks ago now. But, it makes sense. I think Denver opened as a favorite in this series, and it was kind of natural for things to swing the other way just because the Clippers ended the season so hot. They're a pretty complete roster, honestly, and they've done everything the right ways in an organization this season, which we don't necessarily associate with the Clippers over the last however many years. But I think it makes sense that maybe Denver is a slight underdog just given the circumstances of where these teams are both at in kind of relation to the season as a whole.
What are they going to miss about Michael Malone here in the playoffs? The guy has championship experience. Obviously, whatever was going on internally that led to the firing, that's besides the point. But in terms of his experience, having coached this team to a championship, what are they going to miss without having him in the huddle?
Yeah, I do think there's just a familiarity there that that you could kind of point to and say, okay, this is a different situation. You have a different type of demeanor with David Adelman now, as opposed to Malone, who has been the only head coach that Jokic has ever had in his career, the only coach that Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. have ever had in their careers. So the continuity of this team has kind of been one of its selling points as a contender for a few seasons now, and this is the first big break in that continuity. On the other hand, guys, I have to say, just being around the organization, talking to people since the firings, I do think there's been a little bit of a sense of relief in the building, just resulting from kind of this pent-up tension that had been going on between the coaching staff, the front office, sort of the feeling of obligation on both sides of it, that people needed to take sides with either Malone or Booth. And look, the players on this roster really like David Adelman. He has had a strong reputation with them for years. He's been with the organization since 2017. He has been sort of their offensive coordinator, has been endorsed by players for a head coaching job elsewhere over the past few years. So I do think that they're excited to play for him, and that it's kind of a, it's a high stakes situation for him professionally, seeing as this is a little bit of a job audition, but I do think that the roster is pretty excited to play for him.
Bennett, let's just say that the Nuggets lose this series or lose the next one to OKC. What moves do they have? Where do they go from here? Because it feels like the rest of the roster around Jokic has gotten stale. Jokic is not getting any younger. What do you see the path forward for Denver after this season?
Yeah, it's a really fair question, and one that's definitely looming over the franchise, just because I think even if they escape this first round series against an absurdly good 5 seed in the Clippers, there's a pretty good chance that they're going into an Oklahoma City series, feeling pretty exhausted, whereas the Thunder will have swept someone. Like, the deck will not be stacked in Denver's favor in the second round if they make it that far. And so it's pretty reasonable to expect either a first round or a second round exit, I would say, under the circumstances. If that happens, you now have 2 consecutive years since the championship run with, a regression of sorts, not being able to get back to that conference finals point. And you start to look at sort of the salary cap table. You look at, okay, how can we break up one of the bigger contracts? Obviously not Jokic, but I think that all other options have to be on the table. What can you get for Jamal Murray? What could you get for Michael Porter Jr.? What could you get for Aaron Gordon? Is there a move involving one of those guys that just can add a little bit of depth, a little bit of defense to the starting lineup, which has been sorely lacking this year? They finish as a bottom 10 defense in the league. And then maybe a little bit more 3-point shooting, too. There are some serious holes in the roster that will need to be addressed this summer, regardless of whether they decide to take a big swing or try to, keep working peripherally a little bit.
Bennett Durando from the Denver Post covering the Nuggets, joining me, Scott Seidenberg and Will Hill here on VSiN Primetime. Bennett joining us on the Progressive guest line. Bennett, in terms of the Game 1 coming up tomorrow, it is an early start time. We're looking at a 1:30 Mountain Time tip-off. How do you think that affects these teams, and could we be looking towards a lower scoring game with the early non-traditional start time?
It's a good question. It's funny, the Nuggets, gosh, I wish I had the exact record in front of me, but I don't think they won a game this year with a matinee start on national TV over the weekend. They lost a game in Boston, a game in OKC, a game in Minnesota, and I think a home game to the Clippers. I want to say those are their only 4 matinee national TV starts this season, and I think they're 0-4. So kind of a little interesting wrinkle there, but it's going to be interesting. The Clippers get into town. It's classic playoff weather here in Denver, snowing and sleeting right now. So they've got to adjust to the altitude and all that, and get ready for that game. I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how some of the matchups unfold in the first one. Denver's going to want to play faster. The Clippers have the second-ranked defense in the West this season. They're going to want to keep it to a half-court game. They play a lot of isolation. So I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if things kind of tighten up and this turns into a lower-scoring affair, at least to start the series. But Denver is certainly going to try to do everything they can to speed up the Clippers.
Who guards Harden? Who guards Kawhi? And then on the other side, what do you think the Clippers, what's their plan for guarding Jokic?
Yeah. So on the Clippers offensive side, it's going to be interesting. I think that the Nuggets probably start with Christian Brown on James Harden. They probably start with Aaron Gordon on Kawhi Leonard. Gordon has been a pretty good Kawhi stopper over the years, but it's tough to make any evaluations based on this season because they played 4 times all in the first half of the season, and Kawhi was not healthy for any of those. So the Nuggets have not seen him in more than a year at this point. But I think those are your 2 starting matchups. Denver's defensive personnel is pretty limited. I think that they're going to have to try some different stuff throughout the course of the series, maybe a little bit of Russell Westbrook on Harden. Maybe you get Jalen Pickett in there and see if he's up for the task. Peyton Watson has been one of their better defenders coming off the bench. So I think that he's a guy who you can maybe try to get involved on either of those guys. He's a little bit of a skinnier wing. And I think that Christian Brown's kind of able to size up if they need to have him switch on to Kawhi, those kinds of things throughout the series too, just because Denver tends to use Aaron Gordon as the backup center in addition to the starting power forward. So they're going to have to move stuff around. As for the other side, I wouldn't be shocked if we see a lot of Zubac single coverage on Jokic, honestly. He's been one of the better Jokic defenders in the league over a few years. Jokic averaged 5.7 assists against the Clippers this season. That's the fewest assists he averaged against any team in the league. So it's an interesting starting point, but I think the answer with Jokic for any opponent is going to be to mix things up. I would expect Zubac single coverage a decent amount, though.
Bennett, great stuff. Appreciate the time and the insight, and enjoy the series.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate having me on.
Thanks, Bennett.
Bennett Durando. I'm Scott Seidenberg. He's Will Hill. This is VSiN Primetime.
This is VSiN Primetime on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back here on VSiN Primetime, I'm Scott Seidenberg alongside Will Hill here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. As we are at a final, the Miami Heat have advanced to become the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, a 123-114 overtime win over the Atlanta Hawks. Look, we took a swing with the under in the second half. Looked great until we got to overtime. The under for the game was going to cash until we got to overtime, and Trae Young with the under points was going to cash until we got to overtime. And listen, they don't call it undertime, right, Will? It's overtime. And you know what? Miami, who let that lead slip away in the second half, they certainly came out in that extra session with a little bit of fire underneath them as they dominate the overtime period 17-8.
Yeah, and you could say Atlanta was down 17, so they had no business winning the game. Well, when you're up by 6 pretty late in the fourth quarter, middle of the fourth quarter, you're home, you got all that, we use the word momentum. Who knows? Momentum, is it real? Is it not? We can have a debate, but you expect to win once you're up 6. So back and forth game, a good game. The first ever 10 seed to make the playoffs.
Wow.
In the, 4 or 5 years we've had these play-in rounds, the 10 seed's always been fodder, been dead. So fitting that Miami, who's been kind of the king of these play-in tournaments, goes on, advances to the to play the Cavs on Sunday. I'm sure we'll get a line for game 1 and for the series. If it's not already up, I'm sure we'll get it shortly. What do you think game 1 is? Top of your head.
Top of my head, Miami coming off of this overtime, coming off of the 2 road games, Cavs 6.5.
Ooh, really? I thought it'd be higher than that. I thought it'd be 9, something like that. We'll see.
I mean, I would just think
anything is up.
Give a little respect here. Let me see if anybody's posted. Let's see.
We're both short.
No way. What do we got?
11.
11. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a foolish number out of me. I just thought maybe a little bit of love to Miami with the way that they performed here. I mean, you win 2 games on the road like this.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive stuff, right? And they have a name brand and its recognition in Tyler Hero and Spoelstra and whatnot. But I guess it is. And then again, Cleveland's just been dominant all season. Maybe I'm just not respecting the Cavs enough. The second game is underway, and it is Memphis with a 7-3 lead already on the Mavericks. Now, here are the bets that I have in this game, which we're going to track, Will. I have Jaren Jackson Jr., points plus rebounds and assists over 27.5. I have Klay Thompson over 2.5 3-pointers made. We have Desmond Bane over 22.5 points. Ja Morant under 24.5 points. And the Dallas Mavericks plus 6.5. Those are the plays that I have in this game. Checking out the early box score, Klay Thompson has a 3. That's 1 down. Feel good about that. Ja Morant, meanwhile, has 2 points. Desmond Bane has 0. Jaren Jackson Jr., 3 points and 1 rebound. All right. What do you think about those plays, and did you play anything in this game?
I just have the under. My biggest takeaway so far, and it's something very important, these Grizzlies uniforms, these throwbacks, they're kind of white with teal, the old school Grizzly logo.
These are the Vancouver
Why
logos.
did they get rid of these? These are awesome. These are great uniforms.
This is the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Don't you like them?
I do like them, of course.
That's got to be worth at least 2.5, 3 points to the spread, these uniforms. These are great uniforms.
I mean, if I knew that the midcourt logo was going to look as great at that, I wouldn't have taken the Mavericks here.
I might jump in live now. These are great. No, I'm being serious. These are some of the old school uniforms are just so much better than these ones. I don't understand sometimes why they change. But no, Grizzlies in control early, 9-3 start. It was 7-0. Klay, it's a 3 to make it 7-3. We'll see how healthy Morant is. He's playing, so we'll obviously keep an eye on that. Some of the baseball, Yankees do win 1-0. Rodon pitched well. How about Dodgers Rangers? We were talking about that game. Second pitch of the game, Edman hits a homer. Man, DeGrom struggling again. Well, he settled down. We are still at 1-0 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, the stat that I gave out, the Texas Rangers at home this year, they are straight up 9-1. So they've been one of the best home teams, them and the Padres, the best home teams in Major League Baseball. 9 wins, only 1 loss at home. But for more importantly for this game, betting-wise, they are also 9-1 to the under at home. They are the best under team at home right now in Major League Baseball. First 5 under has already come in easily, and the full game under looks fantastic right now as we are 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Yamamoto is still in the game. 9 strikeouts for Yamamoto right now. He has gone well over his prop. Jacob deGrom's got 7 strikeouts. I would imagine deGrom does not come out for the 8th. He's at 96 pitches, and I would imagine that Yamamoto is not long for this game either, as he is at 90. He's at 98 pitches right now.
I wonder how many games this year, and this is just how much baseball has changed. First of all, I see the starting pitcher in the 7th, and I'm just like, I do a double take. Yeah. I wonder how many games this year we've had both pitchers pitch into the 7th inning.
Pitchers duel.
Probably not many, if any.
Pitchers duel indeed. We might have a live betting situation, though, as the Mets and the Cardinals are tied at 4 apiece going to the bottom of the 9th. The Cardinals have scored 1 run in the top of the 9th to tie the game off of Brazoban was in the game for the Mets. So 4-4 going to the bottom of the 9th at Citi Field. The Mets right now are minus 250 on the live line. But here's what I might be interested in, Will. 9.5 is the total. If they get through the bottom of the 9th unscathed, this is going to extra innings with the ghost runner, which means 4-4 could very easily become 5-5 or, whatever it is, 6-4 maybe, who knows. Do you like an over 9.5?
Who's up for the Mets in the bottom of the 9th?
Great question. I will get you that info right now.
Thank you so much. If it's such a great question, why don't you answer? No, I'm just
the final.
It is because if it's Soto, Alonso, and these guys, I'm worried about a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. Now, I could hit a 2-run walk-off homer, but I'm worried about a 5-4 final and it
top of the order.
Extras.
Top of the order. Lindor, Soto,
Alonso.
Alonso.
Keep me off of it. That would keep me off of it.
But if I get 1 runner on, I can get a Soto 2-run bomb and I can hit this.
Sure.
That's
enough to keep me off it just because there's a decent chance here the Mets walk it off.
Yeah, Lindor, Soto, and Alonso, and I don't know.
That's a good 1-2-3.
That's a great 1-2-3, and I don't know who they're going to bring in to pitch here. Yeah, live total is 9.5, juiced to the under, and the Mets are minus 250. I would love if I can get plus money on the over. I would take it.
How about this? How about any live at bat props? Do you feel a little Soto magic? He makes his Mets. His Mets statement, his first huge hit as a Met, and he kind of walks one off with a homer. Do they have any live plate appearance props? I know you like these now.
I'm going to look right now to see if there's a live at bat prop for Soto. Now, the thing
13-1 to homer.
You know what? The thing is, I see homer plus 2,300 in this at bat.
Wow, I'm looking at DraftKings. That right there is and I don't have Caesar. You're talking about Caesars? Yeah. I don't have Caesars. That is the importance of shopping around. 13-1. Versus 23-1. That is wait, that is the difference between throwing a bullet and shooting a bullet.
But is your 13-1 on the next at bat or just live home run? Because this one is
next at bat. Okay.
This one is specifically for this plate appearance, which
this is that the DraftKings one is too.
Okay, but here's the thing: like he could not get up at all. Like Lindor,
I think that's a refund.
Yeah. I mean, should I play it?
23-1. Now that you say it, are you chasing the Hawks Heat game? Is that why trying to get it all back with one swing?
I'm a little upset. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little upset.
I'm not thrilled either, man.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But what I am gonna look to do though is the Mets have walked it off.
No way.
Yep. I think Lindor just
went deep.
I think Lindor just went deep. Sportsbook
yes,
app.
He did. That was a bomb too. Oh my. Fastball in, and he hit that. That is into the upper deck there, and they are going crazy at Citi Field. The lights go out. Lindor is calmly rounding the bases, and we do get the walk-off homer, but not from Soto. That was a bomb. Did you see that?
No, but that's amazing. And it was Fernandez came in. It was a third pitch. He threw 3 pitches, Ryan Fernandez, and gave up the solo home run walk-off to Francisco Lindor, who was 0 of 4 in the game. And
why didn't we look at Lindor's numbers to homer? Jeez.
It probably was high because he has not had a great start to his season. Yeah. The guy that was an MVP candidate last year, and everyone wanted to talk about the torpedo bats, and he was one of the guys using the torpedo bats. He started the year 0 of 15 to start the year. Like he was terrible, but that is a big moment for him.
Did the same thing last year though. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah. Big moment for him. Big moment for the Grizzlies, who have a 20-10 lead over the Mavericks right now. Live line, Grizz minus 11.5. Your live total of 229.5. Looking at the stat sheet, John Morant's got 7 points to lead the Grizzlies. Don't like that. Desmond Bane has not scored yet, hasn't taken a shot. Jaren Jackson's got 6 points, 2 made 3-pointers. So we talked about him making threes. And Klay Thompson has made 2 3-pointers already as well. So 1 more 3 for Klay Thompson. We'll cash that bet at least. Next week is the NFL Draft. It is on Thursday. Tune in for 2 special live shows breaking down every pick from a betting perspective here at VSiN. First, VSiN PrimeTime Draft Edition starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then Cashing Out Draft Edition at 11 p.m. Eastern. Plus, explore our NFL Draft Hub on the VSiN Watch app. Go to vsin.com/draft for full coverage and stream it all on the VSiN Watch app. He's Will Hill. I'm Scott Seidenberg. This is VSiN Primetime.